everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing a little bit more of some bookish content. You've already seen the same outfit, the same makeup, the same kind of look. It's because I'm filming this directly after the first one because I know I go back to college next week, so I know I'm not going to have time to film on the first week back for sure. This is a book unhaul, so I need more room. I only have enough room in my bedroom for one bookshelf. However, my mum is thinking of getting a shelving unit for the sitting room, so we'll have another bookshelf. I have different reasons, they're all in different stacks around me to express why. First, I'm going to start with the easy unhauls, which are going to be these three right here because these all belong to other people. Actually, I've got one more book to grab to this. So these are books that I have borrowed from other people to read. So yeah, they just need to be returned. One is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I gave this a good go at reading. This was borrowed from my friend Poppy. I need to return this to her. I know she has another friend that's waiting to read this. I tried my damn hardest to read this and I just could not get into it. Like, I got 100 pages the way through and I couldn't get into it. I found the main character quite lackluster, quite boring. I just found it boring, and I heard such amazing things from Brandon Sanderson and I was so curious about reading his writing. I was so excited for this, but I genuinely think sci-fi just is not my type of genre, to be honest. The next two ones on this shelf are both Harry Potter books. These belong to my second eldest sister, and basically I always raid her bookshelves for something good to read if I'm not feeling anything from my bookshelf or there's something that I want to buy that is not on her bookshelves. So I try not to buy things that is on her bookshelves originally, as she tries to buy stuff that's not already on my bookshelves because we can just swap over. I was trying to read Harry Potter, read The Chamber of Secrets, and I've also read The Prisoner of Azkaban and the first book in the series, but unfortunately I've decided to stop reading this. I think it's just a bit too young for me. Every time that the character is re-mentioned that we've already heard about in the first and second book, it does a recap on the character and who they are, like Voldemort. He's a bad guy, he tried to kill Harry, blah blah blah. And we already know that from reading the first book. I think it works really well as a children's book to be written like that because this is a children's series, and I think my patience just does not have it for this. Does not have it for each character to be repeated. And the other book that I'm going to be unhauling / giving back to their rightful owner, which is why I am removing them from my shelves, is American Psycho, and this is going to be returned to my best friend Sophia. I haven't started this yet, but I do plan to read it in March, so it will be given back to her, hopefully, fingers crossed, by April. But I'm going to be reading this, I think, after I finish Assassin's Quest by Robin Hobb. I'm going to get rid of this big stack over here, which are basically books that I already own / my second eldest sister already owns / I read this series 1,000 times when I was younger and I still love it, but we don't need 2 sets of this series. And I have random books in this series. I don't even have the whole books, and I have some duplicates and things like that. This is what the stack looks like. This is the Tsukisaka House novels series from Charlene Harris. I loved this when I was younger. It's a really nice fantasy romance. Like, it's a nice fantasy romance. Don't take it too seriously. It can be quite smutty as well. I really enjoy this series. I've read it over and over and over again. I just don't need this series on my shelves when my second eldest sister has them. Like I said, I always steal books from her shelf. Then another one that I already have is Oscar Wilde and the Picture of Dorian Gray. Next up, I have a DNF, which did not finish. I do not like this. This is a collection of short stories though, and I think that could be why, but I have read short stories that I really like. I've read poetry that I really like. I don't understand why I don't like this. It's just too slow. If it's a short story, I really need him to get into it. Like, drop me in the in medias res, drop me in the middle of the action, you know? Next, I have 3 that I'm just removing from my bookshelves because okay, actually, next 2 we're just removing from my bookshelves because nobody in my family wants to read them anymore. We read them when we were a lot younger. These are Zoella's books. No shame against Zoella. I enjoyed these books when I read them when I was a lot younger. But like I said, I read them when I was really young and I'm ready to let go of them. I don't have any sentimental value to them, so I don't mind letting these go. So I have Girl Online and then her second book, Girl Online on Tour. I'll probably pass them on to my niece. One of my nieces is a really big reader, so I think she will probably like reading these as well. I'm going to be unhauling The Hunger Games Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins, sorry. Number 1, my second eldest sister. Again, like I said, I always steal her books. She has the complete series. I have book 1. Don't just need the first book. Number 2, this is such an unpopular opinion. I did not like this series. It was full of massive moments of nothingness with a chapter or half a chapter of intense action, and then loads of nothingness again. I have 2 books that I might unhaul. So these aren't definitely unhauls, but I think by putting them in here it might encourage me either if I want to unhaul them or not. These 2 are just books that I generally did not enjoy. They got really low star ratings from me last year and I generally despised this one. And then this one just had a huge trope in it that I did not like. This is The Woman Inside by E.G. Scott. Nothing against the author or the publishers, etc, etc of these books, just they didn't personally do anything for me. The Woman Inside by E.G. Scott basically follows a woman. She is a pharmacist and she assists in like the making of drugs and, you know, prescribing drugs to people. I don't know, I thought this was going to be a really cool thriller and I thought I was going to absolutely love it, and I just did not end up doing that. And then the other one that I said I generally end up despising is Psycho by Robert Bloch. I know my best friend Sophia wants to read this, so I will definitely hand this over to her before I end up unhauling it. I think this is when I'm going to unhaul. Adroit and blood-curdling, a terribly chilling tale, more chillingly effective than any writer might reasonably be expected to be. Psycho is not a tale for queasy stomachs or faint hearts. It is filled with horrifying suspense, and the climax, instead of being a relief, will hit the reader with bone-shattering force. The ending, I predicted, just want to put that out there, and the whole thing, I just didn't find it spooky at all. The whole idea is that the hotel is quite spooky, scary, but I didn't get that atmosphere from this. I was more scared in Salem Slot by Stephen King. It just is the way that it promises to be something that, you know, if you're generally scared easy, don't read it. I personally, if you guys are looking for something that is bone-chilling and heart-wrenching and extremely uncomfortable and hard to read Sean Hudson The Spawn. If you want to be freaked out, read Sean Hudson The Spawn. I could not sleep when I read that book. It's the creepiest concept. So yeah, but that is everything for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I'd like to see more videos from me, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Bye!